Hey everybody, Dave Nasty here with Epic Guitar Instruction. How are you today? We're going to learn a fun song, a great song in fact, by a wonderful artist. His name is Jason Aldean, and this song is called Fly Over States. I really like this song because there's a lot of things that we can do on the acoustic guitar that will spice up your playing if you're just getting started. We'll show you how to make some cool noises with some harmonics, some nice little simple melodies, and at the end of the day you're going to have a fun song that you can play in your own home and make some good music on your acoustic guitar. So let's go ahead and get started. The way that this song kicks off, which is kind of cool, is we're going to start off with some natural harmonics here up on the 12th fret. So let's just take a look at that. Really easy. We're just going B string, G string, and D string. And the way that you achieve these harmonics, if you're at all unfamiliar how to do this, I always kind of tell everybody the same thing. You want to pretend like you're touching something that's really hot and it's going to burn you. You're just real light, and if you notice, I'm above the wire when I make that bell type sound, and it should be articulated well enough to where you can pull your finger away and you get that nice little chimey sound. So we start off pretty simple by going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just over and over again like this. Then we stop on the G there. Now while that happens, what's kind of cool is somebody doubles that with another guitar by doing a G chord like this. And this might be kind of unfamiliar, but it's a D shape, but you're just gonna follow that beginning right there. So you get a couple of options on how you want to start this song off. But when we kick in, we're gonna go to our typical G chord. Let's run down the chords that we're gonna be playing here in this song. So we're gonna start off with the G chord in our intro, which we'll learn how to embellish really nicely here in a moment. In the verse, we start with a G as well, and it then goes to a B minor chord. So let's tag our B minor. We're going to have a C major. Now notice the way that I'm voicing my C major might be a little bit different there. I'm putting my third finger on the bottom. Makes it a little bit more full sounding, and when strumming an acoustic guitar, you can hit all your strings, and you don't have to worry about blocking anybody. That's kind of nice. We're going to have an A minor chord, and a D chord, and that's going to get us started with our intro and our verse. So let's go ahead and talk about how to play that. When the song kicks off, now notice how I'm embellishing this G chord. Let's take a look at that. So it's a nice simple strum, started off by hitting my root note. That's really what it is. Nice and easy kind of strum. I'll do that a little slower for you. Now, what I'm doing is I'm bringing my index finger over to suspend the chord and make it a second or a 9 chord, and that's a really cool way to kind of add or take away from some melody within that G chord. So with that strumming pattern and this finger movement, I get this sound. Travels over, really no problems there at all. Now it goes straight into the verse. Now notice this slight different strum. I'm going over those chords that we outlined, and I'm hitting the root note every time. That's going to take us through our intro there and leading into our verse rather. So what I do is I hit my note on the root, but that nice change in dynamic makes it more musical. Now when I go to my C. So one thing that I would like to mention, just to give you a little bit of help here, because as you know that when we're going through our chord changes, especially sometimes in the beginning, when we get to those difficult bar chords and we're coming from our open chords, these can be challenging things for you. But all you have to do, we've got a little bit of help for you. All you got to do is click on that link below that you see in that text box, and we are here to help. We've got a free lesson video that will be able to provide you with all the great examples that you could possibly need to help get through those changes, to help master those bar chords. There's various examples of how to go from your open chords to your bar chords and get comfortable with all those difficult shapes. And all you got to do is just click on that link below. You get your rhythm and you get the percussive sound, and we could make some simple changes to maybe what the song is, but we can add our own in there, and we can show you how to do that a little bit by maybe when I go to this A minor, arpeggiating it maybe just a little bit, because it pauses within the song, and by ourselves on an acoustic guitar, that would be a nice little embellishment or change. So that would sound just like this. Maybe even on my B minor, lifting that middle finger. C, pause. Little changes. You can take away notes, and you get the idea. We can kind of play around with the certain sounds there by arpeggiating the chord and make it just a little bit more interesting. What's going to lead us into the chorus is one simple D chord that we're going to let ring out, and that happens the second time that we go through that chord change in our verse. So I'm going to play it as though we're doing it on the second time, leading us right into that chorus, and we'll talk about the chords that we're going to play for that chorus. So with the verse now. I'll throw in some changes maybe here. There's that middle finger I was talking about. Going to my A minor. Now the chorus. And with the chorus, let's talk about our chords to keep it really simple and easy the way we're going about this. The chorus is going to have an E minor, but look at how I'm doing this. I like to fret a few more notes on my E minor. I'm going to leave those high notes in there that I would play typically almost like I'm playing a G chord. From that E minor, that makes it an E minor 7th, by the way. I'm going to go to my C add 9, to my G chord, a D chord, and at the end of the bar there, what we're going to do is we're going to add a nice kind of walk up there. And sometimes you might recognize that in other styles of music where you play a power chord this way, and then you kind of do a stretch chord, oftentimes that's referred to. But that's how we play our chorus. Let's talk about that. Or show you how it's done, I guess. There we go. I love that stretch on that D. Maybe play the E minor different the second time. I'm going to go to the D chord. I'm going to pause on my C, add 9. Back to my verse. And we're going to play the verse exactly the same as we did before. We're going to only do it one time around before we go into that chorus, and what that's going to lead us into is an instrumental section that's going to be really easy to accomplish because we already know the chords for it, and I can show you some simple melodies to play here in just a moment. Now, over the slide part that comes up, which is going to be our first melody, we're just playing our chorus chords. So we love that. We love that that's going to be really easy. Let me play those for you just one time. Now notice I didn't do the stretch there because I'm just bringing out a nice bass for what's going to happen with our melody. So the melody that's played with a slide, we're going to outline this with just our regular, we can do this with one finger even. Really, really easy to play, but sometimes when we're playing with others, we want to be able to bring in all the parts of the song. And we can just do this with single notes. Again, I'll play it for you one time. Now, I do have trusty old slide with me here, and we're going to bring this out and we're going to give this a shot. I like to put this on my third finger, and admittedly, I'm not a crazy wild slide player. I do a little bit of slide playing just to cover my bases, but this will be cool because for you that are not super comfortable with it, you can learn it just by doing a single note melody line on your B string. And so it starts off the 5th fret, and when playing a slide, we want to put that slide right above the wire there. So we hear it really, really clear. And it takes a little bit of practice, but you know, the sliding in effect that happens with this melody works out great for just learning how to play something like this, and it'll get your feet wet doing something different. little bit of fun. You might get a little bit of buzzy noise in there, but there's no problems there at all because you're just doing something different and playing a little bit of slide. Now, that's going to be complemented by a single note line centered around E, and that line sounds just like this. Really simple. And at the end of the song, these go back and forth against each other. You'll have one play, and then you'll have the other play, and it's all centered around this. So if you've got a buddy, you can show them how to play the chords. You can go ahead and try to play those sweet little melodies over these chord changes, and you're going to be right there in the wheelhouse playing this fantastic song. And there you go. We've covered all the parts. Got some nice things going on. You get to play a little bit of slide, you get a single note melody, but we have some fun embellishments that we can do with our chords. They're catchy as all get out, and it's a fun song to play. So thank you so much for checking it out. Please leave a comment. Check out, we love all the feedback that you could possibly give us here. We just want to do the best that we can for you. So thanks for checking us out. Go ahead and subscribe, and we look forward to bringing you more videos soon. I'm going to go ahead and play this out, and I'll talk to you soon.